This is the heartbreaking story of Anita, a woman who endured 15 years of emotional, physical, and psychological abuse from her husband and in-laws. Married young, she believed love would follow. But instead, she was treated like a servant, a punching bag, and a stranger in her own home. Through betrayal, motherhood, and loss, Anita stayed silent, until one day, her silence broke. This is a story of survival, courage, and a woman reclaiming her life after years of being treated as nothing. There are women who smile in public, but silently cry every night. There are homes that look peaceful from the outside, but are prisons inside. This is the story of Anita, a woman who gave her life to a family that never gave her love in return. The story of a marriage built on duty, not kindness, a story of silence and survival. Anita was just 19 when she married Rakesh. He was 10 years older. She had never spoken to him before the wedding. Her parents told her, "He's from a good family. You'll learn to love him." At the wedding, she wore red and gold, but behind her smile was fear. When she arrived at her new home, her mother-in-law barely greeted her. Her sister-in-law whispered, "Let's see how long this one lasts." That was Anita's welcome. In the first week, Anita was told, "Wake up before everyone, cook for the family, don't speak unless spoken to, never question Rakesh." She tried. She really tried, but Rakesh was never kind. He yelled. He insulted her cooking. Sometimes, he pushed her. Once, he slapped her because his tea was cold. She wrote to her mother, "I'm trying to be a good wife, but I don't think I'm wanted here." Her mother wrote back, "Be patient. All wives go through this in the beginning." After 1 year, Anita became pregnant. She thought maybe this would change things. Her mother-in-law looked disappointed. "I hope it's a boy," she said. Anita gave birth to a baby girl, Mira. No one came to see her in the hospital. Rakesh didn't even hold the baby. At home, Anita was told, "Try again. You need to give us a son." She felt like she failed for giving birth to love. The years passed like shadows. Rakesh cheated. He spent nights away from home. When Anita asked him where he went, he raised his hand again. His sister, Shanti, called Anita worthless. His mother accused her of poisoning their luck. His father said nothing. Ever, and through all of it, Anita stayed. Why? Because she had no money, no job, and Mira needed her mother. At year 6, Anita gave birth again. This time, a boy, Rohan. Her in-laws celebrated. They threw a party. They gave sweets to neighbors, but Anita was forgotten again. The bruises continued. The insults became normal. She had become invisible in her own life. If there was one thing that gave Anita strength, it was her children. Mira, now 10, saw everything. Once, she asked softly, "Mom, why does Papa hate you?" Anita had no answer, but she knew she didn't want Mira to believe this was love. She started reading books again at night, hiding them under her pillow. She started dreaming secretly. One evening, Rakesh came home drunk. Mira had accidentally spilled milk. Rakesh screamed and raised his hand toward her. Anita stepped in. She stood between him and their daughter. "Touch her, and I swear I will never forgive you." It was the first time Anita had raised her voice. Rakesh pushed her to the ground, but something had changed. Mira ran to the neighbor's house. She called the police. That night, Rakesh was arrested. It was just one night. But for Anita, it was the start of her freedom. The next morning, Anita packed her things. Her mother-in-law said, "You can't leave. What will people say?" Anita replied, "Let them say what they want. I'm not living for people anymore." She took Mira and Rohan. She moved into a small rented room. She took a job at a school as a cleaner. It wasn't much, but it was hers. 5 years passed. Mira became a college student. Rohan learned how to cook from his mother. Anita still wore simple clothes, but she walked tall. One afternoon, she saw Rakesh on the street. He looked older, bitter, alone. He tried to speak, but Anita only smiled and walked away. She had nothing left to say. Anita never remarried. She didn't need a man to complete her. She had peace. She had her children. She had herself. Sometimes, the strongest women are the ones who walk away with nothing and still build a new life. Anita wasn't just a survivor. She was a warrior, and this was her story.